Well, prominent Republicans and donors from all over the country are gathering right here in Nashville this week for a major fundraising event ahead of the 2024 election. The event, organized by the Republican National Committee, is aimed at rallying support and resources for the party's candidates in the upcoming election cycle. RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel has been leading the party's efforts to take back the White House. We're happy to welcome Ronna McDaniel. Ronna, good to have you with me.
I'm so happy to be here. This is the most amazing studio.
Thank you.
Everything's the best. You've got a live band, you've got an audience. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, we're kind of proud of it, and it's a fun show to do, and we're thrilled to have you here.
Let's trade jobs. How about you take over the RNC?
No. Too many people get mad at you. You know, one of the things I like about this show, I tell people the great thing about TV, it sure beats working. So, speaking of work, and you're having to work really hard, it's a tough environment out there. Things are not the same in terms of the way the Democrats are treated by the press and the way Republicans are treated by the press, or, for that matter, the Justice Department. How do we fix that?
You know, not only just the press, but also the big tech industry, right? Yeah. That's suppressing our voices, that's creating algorithms to push liberal and progressive ideas. I use this phrase right now, which is the scared silent majority. People are afraid to speak out because they're afraid of being canceled by all these entities owned by the liberals in New York and California. But you know what? We're stronger than them. And so we've got to give them a voice and take back that silence by talking about things like common sense issues that we know they care about. We know we need to be energy independent. We know we need to close our border. We know we need to stop crime in our streets. We know we need school choice, things that your amazing daughter is pushing in Arkansas. And when we talk to voters about that, we win.
It's also very evident, if you look at poll numbers, even Democrats don't agree with some of the radical ideas. They believe that we ought to have voter ID, for example. Yep. Overwhelmingly, they believe that. But their party leaders are saying, oh, no, that's racist. What you said a moment ago, people don't want to be canceled. Neither do they want to be called a racist or some type of transphobe or homophobe or whatever the latest phobe is. So they just stay quiet. Wouldn't it make a difference if people just, not angrily, but just stood up and said, no, that's not right?
You have to. We're not going to change this. And I think of Sarah's State of the Union rebuttal where she said it's common sense versus crazy or normal versus crazy. And I think about that all the time. Many days I run into people and say, what's happening in our country? Yeah. What's happening? And people are silent because they're afraid. They're afraid of being canceled or losing their job or being called out. But we can't be silent anymore. Our country's at stake. And so you've got to get involved, go volunteer, be part of a campaign. The one thing I will say, Governor, I'm going to call you Governor because that's how I think of you.
You can call me Mike.
The Democrats work all year, every day, round the clock. They never take a break after an election. They're always focused on the process. How do we change election laws? How do we ballot harvest? How do we get early votes? And they're funded all year. And Republicans take a break. They go, I'm tired. This election didn't go the way I wanted. Well, get over it, guys.
They also have jobs,
We've got jobs,
but
we have to move right now. Yeah. We have to start focusing on the things the Democrats are focusing on because they're spending money every day, and we can't take a break as we're heading into a cycle where we have a better Senate map. We can win the White House. And keeping the House is going to be harder because we've got to hold these key seats in New York and California. We
don't have a big majority in the House, but simply having a majority makes a big difference. And I don't know if some people fully comprehend that just having Kevin McCarthy in the Speaker's seat and a Republican majority has changed Washington a lot.
A lot. And look at Jim Jordan on the head of Judiciary. These are the things we fought for. Nancy Pelosi lost the House, but we won the House. And we did it in 2 tranches. Remember, we picked up 15 seats in 2020 when we didn't win the White House against all expectations. Yeah. And then we won the House in 2022. But we have to keep it. So it is exhausting, but it is year-round, every day. And that's why I'm here in Nashville raising money, because we have to go into all these states. The RNC is in 57 lawsuits right now. Democrats are trying to pass laws to make it so non-citizens can vote. That's what they're trying to do. We have to fight them at every single level. We're also continuing to build our army of poll watchers and poll workers. If you want to be one, go to 80810, text to them. That's how we'll get you engaged. But we need to be engaging year-round all the time.
That's such a great point, because I think when people whine, oh, the elections, there's all kinds of interference with them. Well, then be a poll watcher.
Yeah.
You can help be part of the army.
Or an election day worker.
Absolutely.
In Wisconsin, we elected 5,000 election day workers. It's on the ballot.
Wow.
So in 2021, we actually recruited and put 5,000 election day workers into the counting locations in Wisconsin. 465 of them were just in Milwaukee County. That's a big difference when you have a Ron Johnson running and we keep that Senate seat. So these are the types of the things the RNC does, the infrastructure, the process. It's not the TV ads, it's not the exciting stuff, but it's the infrastructure we need for our candidates to be successful.
Ronnie, we only have about 30 seconds.
Sure.
So let's talk about the presidential election. It's obviously big. Republicans are going to have a pretty big field when it's all said and done.
We are, and you know this well.
Yes, I do.
And we've taken so much of your input and advice, so thank you on everything. But we have a great field, right? So we've got to be fair, we've got to be transparent, but at the end, we have to come together.
Yeah.
Because remember, we need to beat Biden. And so my advice to everybody is right now is you can be on different spectrums of the Republican Party. I'm Mitt Romney's niece, and I was brought to the RNC by Donald Trump. I have the whole Republican Party in my body. But we need to make sure we come together to beat Joe Biden, because what's happening to our country is fundamentally destructing America. And that is not what our founders want. It's not good for our future, and it certainly is stealing the American dream from our kids. And we can't beat the Democrats if we're fractured. So put our swords down after the primary, come together, let's hug it out, and then let's beat Biden.
I agree 100%. Absolutely spot on. To keep up with Ronna McDaniel on social media, if you go to Huckabee.tv, we have links right there. So it's real simple. Just follow the link right to her.